Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Discord server, MeWe group, Facebook group, Twittering, Instagram, YouTube.com/Eric Tenkar, ErikTenkar. It's where Bad Mike from North Texas RPG Con and myself, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we do a live stream, which becomes the podcast for that night. If you want to abuse us, if you want to comment live and influence the podcast, that is the way to do so. And this is a brand new announcement. 2 Fridays a month, I believe the second and fourth Friday evenings, probably 8 p.m. Eastern, but we have to work that out to be sure. Joe the Lawyer, and you all know Joe. If you listen to this podcast, Joe calls the show a lot. Joe the Lawyer and myself are going to be doing live streams every other Friday. Those episodes will go up probably on Saturday because Rich and I put up the Gamer's Health episodes on Fridays. Exciting times, right? We are toying with a few names for the feature. I think we got something nailed down, but we're open to suggestions still. Now, Joe did call with a follow-up to the whole D&D being for sale deal, but he does go and takes further on what makes Dungeons and Dragons value as a brand, and that isn't so much the board game, it's the name recognition that it gets to either be a movie or an on-demand series, right? Let's listen to Joe for a few, then I'll come back because I got my own ideas on this too.
All right, man. Joe the Lawyer here. Just listen to the podcast you put up, I don't know, about an hour ago. And here's a comment on this, too, is think about this. Where's the money in, potentially the big fucking money in Dungeons and Dragons, the brand? It's in something they've never been able to do, is put out a fucking movie, maybe a TV series, right? Now, D&D's all cool for Hollywood and shit. You always see some people out there playing this and that. The big dude is Joe Manganiello. I don't know. He's the guy who played the werewolf in True Blood, and he's married to fucking smoking Sofia Vergara. Anyway, this guy, he's all over the place playing D&D. He's making money off of it. He plays with a bunch of celebrities. He loves this guy. I would love to see his fucking D&D dungeon basement that he plays in. But there's an idea. Is why buy it? To get a fucking movie or a TV series, right? Fuck part two. Here we go. All right, part two. Yeah, they've been talking D&D movie or whatever for years. Nobody can ever get it off the ground, right? Now you got some Hollywood people playing it that might have some power influence to get it done. They would be able to raise the fucking capital to buy the D&D brand or whatever. It's a drop in the bucket compared to what they can make off of a really well-done movie or TV series, right? We got Game of Thrones and this and that. I mean, I could totally see Manganiello just trying to raise the capital to create a game. I think he plays some Dragonborn weird class or whatever, 5th edition kind of class. But just to play his guy. He loves his guy, right? He can play his guy. He role plays him anyway. You can play him in a movie. Stuff like that. I think as a huge Dragonlance fan, I mean, that's the thing. That's where the fucking money is. If somebody could put together a deal to buy the D&D brand for the sole purpose of making D&D movies, so also loves D&D, it's win-win all over the fucking place, right? That would be fantastic. That could be a potential thing. That could be a thing. Think about this, too. Prime or Netflix, they got money to burn. I mean, for them, an investment in the D&D brand, to own the brand, just to be able to put D&D movies out, you don't even need Hollywood or Chinese investors or producers in Hollywood. They are the new Hollywood for all intents and purposes, right? Because who the hell's going to a movie in the next 2 years? You got to be like suicidal to go to a fucking movie nowadays, right? So you're not going to a theater. You're going to watch it on TV. You're going to sit there and binge watch it. They could get the brand, Netflix or Prime, to get the next Game of Thrones on a well-done D&D movie or series. I mean, look, Netflix is already tasting it a little bit with Stranger Things, right? There was a D&D licensing deal with with Netflix for the Stranger Things box set, the intro box set. I bought it. Stupid, but it was whatever. But they got a taste of it, right? They got a taste of D&D. Maybe they will do it. Something to think about, man.
So here's the thing. Dungeons and Dragons has already been licensed for a movie. It was supposed to come out in late 2021. It is now looking at 2022. Directed by John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein. Screenplay written by, Michael Gillio, Jonathan Goldstein, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. There's an earlier screenplay by Geneva Robertson Dworet. So, any actors attached to it? No. But this has been years in the coming. Now, initially supposed to be late 2021, COVID hit, and it got delayed. Not a surprise. So now that would be an outstanding contract that is not going to get canceled. So, and I'm sure that's already money that's been, the licensing fees are going to go to Big Daddy Hasbro on that one. As for licensing a TV series, Netflix, Amazon, that type of deal, listen. I remember, and some of you guys all might remember, when, oh God, what was his name? The one that signed the contract with Gil Gygax, to basically make deals using the Gygax IP and the Gygax name. And for these pitches, he wanted to be able to attach one of the Gygax sons, preferably Luke, to a project as a producer of sorts. And this is what I've heard. I don't have it from the horse's mouth. I haven't spoken to any of the Gygaxes, but this is what I have heard. And Gail did not want any of Gary's children from the first marriage to be involved in the project. That's her right if she has the trademark and the IP. I understand that. So there was a hunger for that. It never happened. And that's probably never going to happen. Now, Dungeons and Dragons as like a Netflix series, right? We got The Witcher, right? We've had Game of Thrones. There is a market for it. There's also Shannara. Oh my God. Painful. Ouch. I couldn't do it, man. I tried. Heck, I'm trying to rewatch the end of season 2 of Discovery, and that's painful enough. Oh shit. Yes, there's nostalgia in the Dungeons and Dragons name. It screams fantasy. You will get people going, oh, well, my kids played that. Oh, I played that when I was a kid. The movie will sell, but now we have a different movie market, right? Like Joe was saying, people watch from home. Part of this whole, Black Friday and COVID deal was that we upped our 40-inch TV in our main viewing room to a 65-inch. Why? Because we're not going to the movie anytime fucking soon. All right? Even if they open them up, and they're probably not. Not to delve too far into the health aspect, but COVID is spiking in New York State. Numbers are reaching the numbers that for hospitalizations that we saw towards the end of May. Now, towards the end of May, that's when hospitalizations were lifting up a bit. Right? That's when I got hospitalized, and they actually had a COVID-free wing at the hospital I was in, which was a godsend. Especially when you're there for 2 weeks. It wasn't really a vacation, but I called it that. So in this new world of COVID, movies, I think, are going to have to change in their budgeting. And I don't think that the Dungeons and Dragons movie was going to be all that They've never really been high end, but they've thrown some names around, and then these aren't people. There's no name attached to the project yet, but according to Looper.com, although there are no actors officially attached to or even in talks for the Dungeons and Dragons film, we have gotten some idea what Paramount is looking for. The hashtag show previously reported the studio is allegedly pursuing a laundry list of actors. Listen to the following names: Will Smith, Josh Brolin, Chris Pratt, Vin Diesel. Now, Vin Diesel would be a great catch. Why? Because Vin Diesel has played D&D. It would just be awesome. I don't think he's a great actor, but I like the guy's personality. He comes off pretty much as a real person, so that'd be interesting. Matthew McConaughey, Jamie Foxx, can't. I don't see it. Joel Edgerton, I'm gonna plead my ignorance here. No fucking clue. Dave Bautista, he'd be fun. You'd have to have a certain campy type of movie. Jeremy Renner, I guess. And Johnny Depp, no. Again, he's got this certain typecastness to him that I just don't see it. But there is a movie in the works, and I think going forward that is going to be, if they can put out a semi-successful movie, that is what the value of the D&D brand will be going forward. It's going to be movies or a TV show or both, on demand. Interesting to see. May you live in interesting times. There's that great curse, right? All right, folks. One thing that we are experimenting with. We are putting together new music tracks for intros and outros. And right now, I've put tracks together for Talking Crit for Wednesday nights, Gamers Health Friday nights, and for the new twice a month on Fridays, Joe the Lawyer and myself. So they're all going to have their own themes, but I'm going to probably wind up changing the theme we have here on the Tavern Chat podcast. We've been using it now for almost 3 years. I was on Humble Bundle. I grabbed the Humble Bundle royalty-free soundtracks. They are good. If you want fantasy stuff, listen, if you're going to run stuff in the background of your game sessions, it's great. If you've got a podcast and you're just trying to find some stuff that fits your podcast, it's great. If you have a YouTube channel, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Do I need all the tracks? No, but I'm glad I got them all because it gives me a lot of options. It really does. And then it benefits you all in the end. As I stated earlier in the podcast, not too long ago, we are in the midst of the world of COVID. It is kicking up. There's only one reality when it comes to COVID. It exists, all right? How bad it is depends a lot of times on where you live. And in less dense communities, you're probably a lot freer from it than I am here in the outer borough of Queens. And I'm sure if you're like in Upper Manhattan or the South Bronx or parts of Brooklyn where it's really dense population, it's certainly worse. But we're seeing an uptick. I am not telling you what to do beyond the following. Use your common sense. All right? Use your common fucking sense. You don't piss in the wind, because when you piss in the wind, the piss comes back on you, right? That's common sense. I'm asking you to use that same kind of common sense. Not hard. All right? Take actions that protect yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends, your community. On that note, be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you. Roll your dice well. I'll have to take pictures of it. I got my case of 24 sets of 7 dice sets of RPG dice from Dollar Tree. Had them mailed to me, so they were about $1.50 a set. Otherwise, they're $1 a set. If you have them delivered to the store, it's going to be $24 plus tax. I would rather not go into a Dollar Tree. I have no desire to go to it in a state that New York City is in. But dice don't look bad. So when we start doing in-person conventions again, I will again have dice to give out at the table. And I think that's fun. All right, folks. On that note, God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Laters.